This is Eva for Once Upon a Timeline. Welcome, everybody. Let's see, we've got a good streaming status. Always nice. Dark Wolf's Den was in first. Kai Lucas Zachary, Sweet Joy, Janice Windsor, Lord Frybread, Data Junkie. Not too many people in today. IAW 94. Keelcook Monty, looks like everybody's getting in now. Matthew T. Welcome, everybody. On a kind of a short one today, which means maybe an hour again. I haven't heard from Bob Bobertson in 2 weeks, so hopefully he's okay. Usually he posts, every week, so it's a little bit concerning. But I still have a lot of other ones, but I'm getting better from the flu finally, but I actually haven't been looking a ton either, so that's part of it also. But there's been a lot of changes locally in the last few weeks as far as streets shifting around. There's an old building that I've been watching. This is something that's been confusing me for years because I remember this. There's a really old historical building, very distinctive, that I remember being in town when I first moved here and on a certain street. And then later I couldn't find it, and then I found it way on the outskirts of town, sort of in the commercial district where people don't drive that much. And I always wondered, I'm like, I don't remember that being there, but obviously it's there, so I must be wrong. But then after the Mandela Effect, I became very suspicious that that building is one of the ones that has moved. So I charted where it was exactly, and I know what street it was on like 6 months ago, and I looked several times. And recently, it's not on that street anymore. It's jumped about 2 blocks, and now it's actually behind the post office, and you can very easily see it there behind the post office because, like I said, it's distinctive. So I was actually pretty shocked because I go to the post office a lot. That's not my favorite post office, but it is one that I visit fairly often. It's the main post office, so it's not as close to my house, but if you're picking something up, that's the one you have to go to. So I'm kind of flipping out to see it back there. I mean, very obviously right behind the post office. And I looked at the building, and it used to just be one big building that was back on the lot, set back, because it's a very old building, so it wasn't lined up perfectly with the street or anything. But now there's this second part of it that is built out, and it looks like it's an old building also, but painted recently, whereas the other building has been flaking apart for at least decades. And it just looks weird. So that's one of a couple shifts locally that are very recent. Multiple North Poles. Okay. According to Lord Frybread, let's check that one out. North Poles. There are 4 North Poles. Okay, I know that there's the magnetic one, and then there's the geographic one. Didn't we go over this the other day? And there was one other one. Magnetic one, geographic. What's the 4th one, though? All right, let me look at this and see. Yeah, they were saying there were 2 different magnetic ones. The first and most simple, wait. There's a geographic North Pole, true north. Well, okay, here's another. I have not seen this one. Somewhat related to the geographic North Pole is the considerably less famous instantaneous North Pole, where Earth's rotational axis meets its surface, as well as the celestial North Pole, where the axis spears the night sky. The instantaneous North Pole is not fixed. Rather, it moves in an irregular circle called the Chandler wobble. Okay. I do remember hearing about that wobble some years back, but not really far back. This discovery gives rise to the North Pole of balance, which lies at the center of this circle. All of this jargon separates into unique, if not pedantic, definitions. The same cannot be said, however, the last two North Poles in this rundown, which is generated by fluid motion in the planet's core. The magnetic pole describes two locations, north and south, blah, blah, blah. There's another magnetically based North Pole, the North Geomagnetic Pole. There's a magnetic pole and a geomagnetic pole. Okay, that's what we were covering last time. All those instantaneous North Poles, no, and then the, whatever that center circle of North Poliness. Oh my God. I think they're just making it so you'll just go insane and quit trying to figure it out. The geomagnetic poles are almost an artifact of reducing Earth's complex and varied magnetic field to that of a simple bar magnet. You know, it used to be that they would say that the magnetic field was very simple, but I have noticed in recent years they're saying, oh, there's a irregularities not just in the magnetic field, but also in gravity, which is really weird because, I mean, gravity was just gravity. I mean, you didn't have a sudden change in gravity. So anyway, okay, well, it looks like there's more than 4 North Poles then. Oh, dang. Yeah, I call BS. I don't know, there's like 500 North Poles next week, I'm sure. Israel warned about the bleeding trees. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things in the Bible that do very much correlate with some of the things that we're seeing here. So, and the Mandela effect, that is, in general. Okay. Okay, this first one, architectural tilts. This is from Thomas Larson, commenter on the channel. Good find. Architectural tilts. There's a couple of points I want to bring up. Now, you probably all heard of the Leaning Tower of Pisa, but apparently there's a bunch of other towers that lean, in some cases, even more. So let's see. This one here is Pisa. I always want to call it Pizza. Pisa. 3.97 degrees of lean. This one here, Bad Frankenhausen Church Tower in Germany, has 4.8 degrees of lean. It's about the same height. This one is Close Nevyansk Tower in Russia. Check out these 2 towers of Bologna. That is a crazy amount of lean on that one. You would think at least those you would have seen. The other thing I wanted to bring up is this is supposed to be the Leaning Tower of Pisa here. I don't remember it looking like that. It keeps changing for me. First of all, I don't remember the smaller part on the top. I just remember it going like this, and then there's a little bit of an expanded part at the top. I don't remember this tiny spot on this smaller level here. The other thing is, I just remember this tower being a lot bigger. It looks tiny to me now. I just remember a lot more levels. I mean, a lot. What really looked like it was going to tip over, I think it's a lot shorter than it was before. These are some of the other towers. Now, supposedly, Big Ben has a 0.26 degree lean. I'm not an expert on that, so I can't say, but this one is a trip here. The 2 towers of Bologna, Italy. Look at the lean on that. That really is one that looks like it's ready to fall down like in the next 5 minutes. This one's quite a very obvious lean on that one too. Oudkirk, Delft, the Netherlands. This one, kind of small, but anyway, I just think it's interesting. Seems to be a lot of leaners. These are all purpose built here. And some of them are taller and more outstanding than Leaning Tower of Pisa. So you have to wonder why it's so famous when, that was its claim to fame. And now it looks like there's just lots of other ones. Pisa. Esdras listed in the same verse that there would be fish again in the Dead Sea, both indicators. Yes, they already found fish now in the Dead Sea. And fresh water kind of floating under the salt water or something weird. So yeah. We've got the red heifers now too. I don't remember the lawn and the large distance to the other building. Yeah, that's a good point actually. I remember it more crowded in also. There was something weird, but I couldn't quite put it together, but I just remember it all crowded in with other buildings. It looked like if it fall, it would really mess up some stuff, basically. Now, not so much. Not so much. That's Data Junkie. Yeah, good point. I do remember that. I don't. It's kind of just like a thing when you're looking at it. You're like, oh, how are they going to fix that? And there's no room to do anything. And living fish in Dead Sea is a contradiction. Well, yeah, I mean, but they found the last few years suddenly there's fresh water found there, and then there's let's see. Let's go over it. Yeah, I mean, yes, it's a contradiction. Fish living by the Dead Sea, prophecy fulfilled, fish swimming. Fish in the Dead Sea. Let's see what we got here. I haven't looked at this in a while. I just saw that it was out. I think that was maybe a full year ago at least that I first started seeing the stories of the water and fish there. For those who have visited the lowest point on earth, on the face of the earth, Ezekiel's end of days prophecy of the Dead Sea coming to life excuse me, seems impossible. Yet recently, scientists have been shocked to discover that sinkholes appeared around the sea are quickly filling up with fish and other forms of life previously unseen in the inhospitable region. Get rid of all this junk. Close. Dang it. All right. Looks like I've got some spam to kill here. Let's back out of this one. Boink. All right, fountains of life found at the bottom of the Dead Sea. This one, this is the other one I was thinking about. Not only are they finding them on the sides of the Dead Sea, but there are a bunch underneath. There are fish in the Thames where there haven't been in years. That does not surprise me. The red heifer may be in effect for me because they say it's the first in 1,000 or so years, but for me there was one before 9/11. Okay, here's the thing with the red heifer for me. There weren't any red heifers for me, and they said, oh, well, there's no such thing as a red heifer. But now what they say is that there are lots of red heifers, but the prophecy requires every hair to be red. So they're trying to breed like more red ones without any other colored hairs. So that is a lot. That's basically, this close to having the necessary red heifer, because we have red heifers now, basically, is what they're saying. Before they said we didn't have them. All right. That's how I remember them saying it, that we did not have, those don't exist. That kind of a cow does not exist. For years, ripples at the surface of the Dead Sea hinted there was something mysterious going on beneath its salt-laden waters. But in a lake where accidentally swallowing the water while diving could lead to near-instant asphyxiation, no one was in a hurry to find out what it might be. Blah, 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 yeah. Biologists have known since the 1930s that the lake is not dead yet. It is full of microbes. There are freshwater springs jetting into the bottom of the Dead Sea from inside craters, found as deep as 100 feet from the surface. The springs roil the waters they flow into a phantasmal slipstream. What makes the place amazing is the life they found near the plumes. Biofilms have never been found in the Dead Sea before. Bacteria. All right, nothing about fish. Not yet, anyways. Nothing about fish in there, but I would not be surprised. Eva, are you feel? Yeah, I had the flu last week. I'm just coming off of it now. Starting to feel better. But yeah, that's like 3 times in the last 12 months, which is about 3 times more flu than I usually get. So I don't know what's going on. Is the Grand Prismatic Spring in Yellowstone new? All right, I'm gonna tell the story of the Grand Prismatic Springs from my perspective. As you can see, it's just completely a beautiful thing. The Grand Prismatic Springs. It looks fake, but this is really it. So it's bacteria, they say, that are making all these colors. So what I remember is about 8 years ago, I would guess, they started to show some colored mud in Yellowstone, and they said it was from bacteria. And at first it was just kind of red, kind of an orange red. And these bacteria, these, like these weird minerals and the heat, and it colors the water red. And then slowly it was, red, orange, and yellow. And then there was a little green, and so this is how it's been developing. And not just in Yellowstone, but all over the world. I mean, the lakes were slowly turning colors, and now we've got these pink lakes and all this ridiculous stuff. So Prismatic Springs then eventually got a bunch of colors, but it was small. It was just like a, like a backyard pond. And for the last few years, it's just growing, 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 growing. And so it's gigantic now. It's amazing. And that's one of the things about 3 years ago when I learned of the Mandela was I saw that and I was like, oh my God, that's real. And since then, it continues to grow. I believe that there are now other ones besides the prismatic springs that have spread. Here it is from ground level. Now, remember, this thing used to be like a little pond. The same with some other, just like a lot of the things, they grow, they start real small. There's that forever burning chasm in the ground. That thing started like as a backyard swimming pool size, and now it's giant also. There's also a thing somewhere, I think it's in Russia, where they're saying that the permafrost is melting and exposing all of these bones of mammoths and stuff. That was just a kind of a tiny area for the longest time, and it's huge. Now you can see here, this is the Grand Prismatic Springs, and that used to just be, it was a standalone, but now we're getting more of these side springs here. So yes, definitely a Mandela for me. Very definitely. But not a brand new one. In fact, I probably haven't even talked about that because I've known about it for so long it just seems like old news. I've known about it for a lot longer than I've had a channel. Let's see. It's interesting. Looks like another one in Wyoming here. That's not this one. This is a different one here. So they're spreading. They're now out. They've jumped out of Yellowstone. Not that I'm shocked. There's another one that we were watching develop, which is these weird lumpy, it's some kind of a geyser thing. I can't remember where that thing was. Morning Glory Rainbow Pool. Okay, this is another one in Yellowstone. That's not the same one I was looking at before. It's okay, so it's spread, but it's still in Yellowstone. Morning Glory Rainbow Pool. Anyways, yes. I agree. What about the moon? Has that ever changed? Oh, there's a lot of those. The way it tips now side to side as it travels across the sky. The craters are ongoing changing. The man in the moon is gone. The rabbit in the moon is here. A lot of us remember it only coming out at night. We remember, let's just say the orbit used to be, it would come over the same part of the sky all the time. Now it doesn't. There's a lot of other changes. Eva, you live in San Diego County. The viruses and bacteria that come from that part of the Pacific Ocean has always been crazy. That part of the Pacific has its own ecosystem. I don't know, I haven't been to the ocean for 6 months, and I've lived here for a long time, and I've never had this problem. So it hasn't always been crazy for me, whatever the heck it is. I lived all in Poway, blah, blah, blah. Fish tacos are amazing, but I got sick a lot. Nope, I didn't. I grew up in California. The moon is ridiculously bright. Yes, that's another one, Silver E55. The moon's a lot brighter. Has those weird rainbow auras around it. Stonehenge seems like it has a lot more stones. Stonehenge is just always changing for me. How do you spell that again? Stonehenge. Now there's all these arguments that it used to have You know, it has more stones but less top stones. I don't remember a complete ring originally. Like, there wasn't this many all ring lined up nicely. Yeah, it changes. That's all I got to say. It's looking a lot more complete now, too. Yeah, Stonehenge will be complete. Just, we're close. Kai Lucas Zachary thought that Grand Prismatic Springs was fake looking. Yes, it looks fake. I agree with you. It totally looks fake. I've been watching that one for quite some time though. That's supposedly as real as it gets. Has anyone heard of the Egyptian goddess Mertzger? Nope. Don't even know how to pronounce it. Egyptian Mertzger. Let's see what we got. Mertzger. Cobra goddess. Okay, she's not as funny as that beetle-headed goddess, but no. Sorry, I'm scrolling up in case you can't see it. What is going on with that head? It's a cobra with hair. Yes, no. I call baloney on that one. Stella of Neferabu. Merit Seger. It's Merit Seger. Merit Seger. Nope. That looks so funny. Okay, when she's got her head on, it looks all right. But when we're getting to this business, nope. Sorry, people. I call bull. This does not look right. What is this? Oh my gosh. Wonder if there's any, let's see if we can see any original drawings. What's this big fat thing? And that, I guess that's the snake. And I don't know what's up with this penguin. What the heck is that thing? Oh, jeez. This Egyptian stuff, I swear they're just making it up. See what else we've got here. Yeah, there's another one. That one's nice, more nicer looking than the other ones, but wait, what was this? That's never seen the snake with the woman's head either. Merit Seger, resin statue. All right, yeah, I agree with you. Oh, I wonder what she's supposed to represent. I might as well check that out. Was a Theban cobra goddess in ancient Egyptian religion, in charge with guarding and protecting the vast Theban necropolis on the west bank of the Nile in front of Thebes. Okay, she guarded the Valley of the Kings. She who loves silence, in reference to the silence of the desert cemetery area she kept. Or according to another interpretation, beloved of him who makes silence. And I guess the maker of the silence is Osiris. Patron of the artisans and workers of the village. Worshipped by the Workers' Guild, who feared her wrath very much. All right. Let's see. This is the Theban necropolis. Not much there. Is a necropolis on the west bank of the Nile opposite Thebes in Upper Egypt. It was used for ritual burials for much of the pharaonic period, especially during the New Kingdom. There's almost nothing on this. I think we'll see more, though. There's been so many new Egyptian findings. It's ridiculous. You'll never keep track of it. It's just growing like weeds. What? Porsche? Really? Porsche has an S in it now? Porsche. No more Porsche? Oh, Porsche has an S. Oh, good find. Yeah, no, that looks kind of stupid. That's not right. Yeah, Porsche. I'm telling you, the Emmy's been busy. I haven't caught everything, but the Emmy's been busy. Yeah, that doesn't look right. Strangely, the way they do the logo, it's not too bad up here. You can't really see it. I think it's too small for you guys, but it looks stupid when it's written out. Porsche. I'm not sure when that one changed, though. I can't say I look at that very often. But yeah, no S for me. It's all squished and flat, so you don't notice the S. I bought a Porsche, now I got a Porsche. I've been able to see by moonlight for a while now. Yeah, it's been about 3 years, at least 2 years. It doesn't get dark at night anymore. You don't. when the moon first went to partially showing in the daytime, for a while there were very black nights without the moon, and I'm like, well, this kind of sucks because it used to only happen during the new moon or if it was very, very cloudy. But now the clouds all glow, so it doesn't matter how cloudy it is. There's still plenty of light. And even when the moon's not there, there's still plenty of light now. Nothing is real anymore except for my extra weight. I don't know. Maybe it's only as real as you think it is. It's a tiny head, tiny hands. Better than the scarab-headed one. Well, I don't know. It's only slightly less stupid looking, though. Who is writing these crazy scripts? Yeah, I don't know. T-Box is in. Joseph Coria. I live near LA. We have no frogs here. LA like Los Angeles or like Louisiana? Looks like a pregnant crocodile god. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what that one was, but it was, I think we'll probably see more of it. That's how it starts. It's just some weird image, and you're trying to chase it, and it has no history. And then later you see it more and more. Porsche. Yeah, that's right. When I was a kid, I pronounced it Porsche. Porsche. I don't know why they pronounced it that way. It was a Porsche. And then somehow everybody was saying Porsche. What was the other one that changed? It was dang it, what was that one? It was another car one. Another fancy car one. Oh, I can't remember now. Lost a letter. All right, so let's get back to the story. All right, Earth is more than one, blah, blah, blah. All right, this one's sort of another, I had a while back that weird parrot that was eating the sheep. So that's kind of spreading now. We've got this, what was it? An eagle is eating this deer while it's still alive. I'll just play a little clip of it. So basically he just sits down there and eats on it. I just don't get this. I mean, wouldn't the deer just flip out and there would just be insanity? You wouldn't just stroll along allowing a eagle to chomp on you as you walk. But I guess that's what they do in this timeline. I don't know. Gotta say, there's certain parts of this timeline I could really live without. I think I could live with those silly Egyptian things, but some of these other ones are too gross. I'm sure Los Angeles has frogs. I lived there, and it was just so city everything where I lived that there were no frogs that I saw because it was just, the pavement jungle, basically. But if you live near some of the waterways or something, I would imagine they would have them. Chevrolet. Yeah, nope, Chevrolet was not it. It was what are the top sports cars? Nope. It was one of those older ones. Dang it. Oh, it's bugging me now. It was something that everybody talked about in like the 80s. I think they still make those though. Let's see. Not Ferrari. Alright, I give up. I'm sure I'll think of it as soon as I, nope, not Maserati, not Trans Am. What is it? It's bugging me. Nope. The deer should roll over and crush the bird, maybe the deer. Yeah, I don't know. But that sheep was just letting that parrot eat its back, too. So it's kind of a thing. Los Angeles has no froggies. I wonder if there's certain areas of Los Angeles where the LA River goes through. I would bet that you might have some over there. All right, let's see what else am I up to here. Oh, amazing. Okay, more on how friendly alligators are now. I think it's crocs. Right, still, they weren't that nice. I keep seeing them now, like people carrying big ones, and they're on harnesses, and this one is even more ridiculous. This kid is putting powdery makeup on her pet crocodile. Now, obviously, that guy is plenty big enough to chomp off a hand. Crocodiles get a bad rap. I don't know. I don't know about that. Okay. So anyways, yeah, those are not the crocodiles of my old timeline. That's all I can say. All right, so this is interesting because I don't know how this skullstore.ca even got a hold of this, but apparently now there's Peruvian elongated skulls with trephination. Trephination is when they would bore a hole in the skull, supposedly to relieve pressure, or who the heck knows really why. And then the elongated skulls are when they wrap the skulls when they're babies, and so they grow along. Now, originally for me, that trephination was like a really rare thing, and the elongated skulls were only found in one location. And now they're in quite a lot of locations, and now apparently we have some that have both. I've never heard of any of them having both, but all right. Now we've got this really cute little new kitty. The cute little kitty cats. This thing is so tiny. I think I was gonna alright. I'll play a clip from here. Hopefully BBC won't come after me too badly. Look at this little kitty. So this is a tiny little, look at, that's a whole leaf. So we're talking a tiny little kitty. The rusty spotted cat. So this is another image. It's not the same image. He is very cute. Look at this. It's like a leaf. It's the size of a leaf. So these are supposedly a wild cat called Rusty Spotted. Smallest feline in the world. Yeah, no, we did not have like a hand-sized kitty cat. Like a permanent kitten, basically. Very cute. And he makes cute little mew noises, too. All right, this one comes from... Ergo someone, and that person was on Redcon. Easter Monday. A lot of people don't remember there being Easter Monday as a holiday. It was Sunday. Apparently, Easter Monday is a holiday in some places, and Sunday is a holiday in another place. I've never heard of Monday being Easter. So I guess there's some confusion now. It's mostly on Sunday, but sometimes it's on Monday. It's a holiday in some places. I've never heard of that either. But there's been a lot of yip yap about Easter Monday lately. Never heard of it. Oh, none of those cars are it. It was missing like an R, I think it was. Easter Tuesday. No, I've never heard of Easter Tuesday. Oh, Monday. All right. All right, this one I've just heard for the first time. I think that this has just come into the timeline very recently. All right, now we've been talking for a few years now about the lion and the lamb. The lion will lay down with the lamb used to be in the Bible, and now it's gone. And now it's the wolf will dwell with the lamb. Now we've been going on and on and on and on about that, and nobody ever had a decent explanation for it. Now suddenly, a bunch of skeptics have come out of the woodwork all over the place, and they have a new excuse for this one. And this has been a few years. I have not heard this, and now like 3 people suddenly all. This is how it's always been. So supposedly there's a saying now, in like a lion, out like a lamb. And it means that if the weather in March, and this is March, so it's interesting, I just happened to hear about it. Excuse me. I just happened to hear about it in March. So if the weather comes in like a lion, then the end of March is supposed to be mild, out like a lamb. In the 19th century, it was used as a prediction contingent on a year's early March weather. If March comes in like a lion, it will go out like a lamb. Now, I don't know if the Mandela has just finally decided to come up with something to explain away why we see lions and lambs, but if you type this in now, in like a lion, out like a lamb, you will see our residual for the Bible is now in there with these lion and lamb things. And so the skeptics suddenly now, I swear, just like this week, they're all, oh, that's just that old saying, that old weather saying. And for years, we did not hear poo about this old weather saying, but words of hope, in like a lion, out like a lamb. So there goes the residual, at least according to the skeptics. Look at this. All of these old residuals now are blamed on this March weather baloney. So be prepared. That comes from my timeline. Keokuk Monty, I'm kicking you off this timeline. I do not accept that was on my timeline. Keokuk Monty, you are a fake version of yourself, I swear. I'm from the Netherlands. We have 2 Easter days. Could be, I don't know. We had Arctica, and I bet you guys didn't. That's all I have to say. There's something funny going on. How does that phrase make sense on its own? Supposedly it's weather lore, like Puxatawny Phil or something. They're saying that that's a saying for March. That I don't know. It doesn't really make much sense, but neither does Puxatawny Phil. Those are really random animals to put in a phrase. Yeah, I just. My mother always said it. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Not in my timeline. I don't think so. For 3 years now, I have not heard that, and now it's like everybody's all, oh, that's just that old saying. I mean, we've had so many threads on the lion and lamb too. I mean, just one of those Mandelas that just keep coming up over and over again. I saw last year of Easter trees. Easter trees. Easter trees. All right. I don't know if you're joking me, but Easter trees. Easter egg tree. Easter egg tree ideas. Easter tree centerpiece. I don't know anything about that two words together. How to make an Easter tree. I don't know. Does anybody ever heard of this stuff? I've never heard of an Easter tree. Easter egg tree. What is an Osterierbaum? The charm of Germany's Easter tree. Long held. All right, Germans, is this your deal? Or shall we blame the Easter tree on you guys? Originally a German tradition that's taken off in other corners of the world, the Osterierbaum is best described as an Easter tree. The tradition is slightly mysterious. All right, this reeks of Mandela right here. Once you start to hear this kind of sentence. The tradition is slightly mysterious. There's no real story as to when or how it began, but German families across the world have been adding the cheerful pop of color to their homes for hundreds of years. Some families even keep their trees out year-round, decorating them for other holidays like Christmas. Osterierbaum can be kept inside the home by taking a few young branches and placing them in a vase of water, or they have also been known to be outside. All right, Germans, is this legit? There's just a lot of that kind of stuff. I don't know if there's like 75 different traditions in each timeline, and now we've got this conglomerate, or what? The skeptics are really reaching. I don't know. You know what? Google has already taken over. All the lion and lambs are now clumped onto this saying. We used to decorate a branch painted white on a base and put ornaments like eggs on them in the 70s. Huh. Shish. I don't know, people. Might be in a new timeline for me. All right. This is another one. They were little harmless things in my timeline. Apparently here they can be nasty little things. This is I've just started heard them being called these cold air funnels, and they're basically these little dust devils, but they'll call them cold air funnel clouds. Now, for me, there used to be tornadoes and there was dust devils, but here we have everything in between. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the little tornadoes are just getting more and more insane. I mean, you used to just have a little tornado, and now you've got this huge long thing, and then the thing now swoops along. It doesn't go straight down. It's like a giant hair, and so now in this timeline, you can have these dust devil things, and they'll all different levels of it. So they can take paint off your car. They can just lift up your stuff really suddenly. But they're not tornadoes, they're not saying. And some of these are not anywhere near the water either. Here's a pretty good case in point. They're just getting, I mean, that one goes way out here somewhere. They don't go straight down anymore. They can just travel anywhere. Look at that. Between clouds. Just, there's no real rules on these things anymore. I've been told they'll rip the paint off your car now. And you could just, there's used to just be one, now there could be multiples all next to each other. Anyway, just getting weird, like some kind of corny, bad movie. Cold air funnel cloud. So apparently there's a cloud called a funnel cloud. I don't know. They used to just be dust devils, and there was tornadoes, not cold air funnel clouds. A small dust devil happened on the equinox at the Mayan temple. I just saw that video earlier today, actually. And I think that they said, I think it was because I was looking at these funnel clouds. Those wolf cats. I heard that one as an ME about 2 years ago at least. The werewolf cats. If you look at them, they're getting a little bit more weird looking than they were when they first came out. They're a little bit more, I don't know how to want to say it. A little bit more defined on where there's hair and where there's not. Look at that thing. There's more variety in them. Some of them, this is interesting because it's like they can't decide where they're going to put the hair and where they're not. At first, they just had missing on certain spots on the face and paws. This one looks like a rat, at least in my opinion. This one's missing a bunch under the ears. It's just, I don't know. This timeline has more variation in all of its stuff. That's all I have to say. They look like half rodent, though. I don't know. Lycoi cat. Goats and rabbits walking upright. Yeah, I saw a panda bear walking upright, too, easily. Just standing there. It used to be, hard on their back. You wouldn't see them just standing there like that. Sometimes they would sit, but it was standing with its legs under it. All right. Okay, this one. This one's kind of a long story. I ran into this this retcon. No, this was our what the fuck. Okay, what is this thing? All right. So they're calling it like some kind of weird fungus, but they're storing it in water. I don't know of any fungus you can just float in the water like that. So, a giant fungus, the Thai Sui ganoderma, in a water machine. I spent some time trying to figure out what this is exactly supposed to be, and it's still a little vague, but apparently, let's see if I can find. So, ganoderma is supposedly a kind of mushroom, and there's different kinds of these. So what's a Thai Sui ganoderma? I'm having trouble exactly nailing it down, but let's see. Ganoderma lucidum is a type of mushroom. All right, now this does not look like, this looks more like a Ganoderma lucidum. It's like kind of flat and rounded, and then it has this skin. Okay, but then this other thing that we were seeing, so supposedly these are worth a cajillion dollars and super healthful and all this, yeah. And they're only supposed to get to be like 5 centimeters. So what up with this? And that doesn't look natural. It looks like a blob. So other places they're saying that the Thai Sui ganoderma is a slime mold complex. Okay, so that's different than a fungus, because a fungus is basically just a mushroom that grows. But this thing is supposedly a slime mold complex, the Thai Sui ganodermas. So I'm not exactly figuring out what's going on here, because they're saying that a slime mold is not technically a fungus. Slime molds are not anymore considered a fungus. They are, they don't grow like that. So what's a slime mold? Okay, that's another story. And this is one that I looked at about 10 or 15 years ago. And there was only one kind of slime mold at that time, or like, I think maybe like a dozen kinds. There were very few kinds. So slime molds are a creature that basically can live as a single-celled organism, just all separate, like basically bacteria do. But under certain situations that are not really well understood, they all come together and make an organism, and then they grow specialized parts and everything. Now, at first there was just kind of these orange blobby style ones. Now these slime molds, so there's one, this one made like these feet and stuff. I didn't have this one in my timeline before. They make all different forms. They can grow feet or mouths or tentacles, and they move not really fast, but definitely faster than a plant. Let's see, I had one picked out. So this is just weird. Basically, they just come together and they can make any kind of creature. All right, interesting title here. This pulsating slime mold comes in peace. All right, so it's basically like the blob from the old movies or something, is all I can say about these slime molds. Boink. Let's get to it here. All right, so this is sped up, so don't freak out too bad. But basically, they pulse and then slowly grow. So that's sped up maybe like 100 times or something, but still, I mean, over the course of a few hours, this thing is going to pulse and grow like this. There's a sped up version of it. And that's a slime mold. So supposedly there's some kind of current of calcium fluids inside that cause it to pulse, and as it pulses, it grows. That's one kind of slime mold. They don't all pulse like that, but... All right, so this Thai Sui ganoderma thing, supposedly that is a slime mold complex mixed with bacteria, and it's all really weird, and I can't nail any of it down. You would think that there'd be more info on this, considering the value of this stuff that's supposed to be like the new superfood. And supposedly they have a mineral concoction that you can add to water and then grow really big Thai Sui ganodermas in them. So used to be they'd just be 5 centimeters, but now they're finding all these huge ones. And if you go online, they also supposedly sell this concoction. So maybe that's why there's so many huge ones now, because you can grow them. I've never heard of a slime mold that you could so easily grow in the water like that, but... So the reason that you saw that thing in a water tank is supposedly that you can get the water and drink it, and it's supposed to be some, health food thing or something. Anyways, the whole slime mold thing, I would keep an eye on it. There's a whole bunch more of them. They move in very interesting ways compared to when I last researched them. There's a lot more kinds. The blob again. Yeah, it's the blob. It just reminds you, stick your stick in it and it crawls up the stick and gets on your hand. And I mean, they're not saying it's the fungus. It's got its own classification now. There's so many more classifications of kinds of animals now. I try to keep my streams to an hour. Doesn't it get truncated if you don't? I believe it's 2 hours. 2 hours. And this, it doesn't permanently get truncated, but basically when you finish, YouTube immediately puts it up. And it will only put the last 2 hours of your stream up. So right away. And then it slowly processes the rest. And then a few hours later, I'm not exactly sure, maybe it's just an hour or something, then your whole thing will go up. Like by the next day, your whole, even the front part will be there. But if you go right after your stream and check, then, and you went long, then right after your stream you check, you will not see the beginning of your stream. It'll show up later though. So when they say truncate, it's not a permanent truncation. They are saying mushrooms observed growing on Mars. I think first it'll be some debunked thing. I don't think we're quite ready for that. Let's see. I'd be surprised if we're there. Study claims evidence of mushrooms. Now I know that they've said that there's color changes they think due to bacteria. Evidence of life on Mars consisting of a scholarly review of 2,000 studies. Included there are mushrooms, algae, lichens, and fungi growing not just on the surface, but also on the surface of the rovers themselves. NASA has made no comments. Okay. This might be round one. NASA generally attributes strange anomalies in Martian photographs to shadows and eroded rocks and say that the methane detected on the planet could have come from other sources besides decaying life forms. The authors agree, saying similarities in morphology are not proof of life. However, co-authored geologist reveals the thing, however, spotted in at least 2 of the photographs would not account for what appears to be masses of black fungi growing on the rovers and what appears to be a white fungi or biocorrosion within a sheltered compartment atop the rover Curiosity. Ooh. Interesting. All right, I'm not seeing any of the photos yet. But yeah, this could be round one. So this is how it likes to come in. They're just floating the idea, but nothing is proven. I wish I could see these images that supposedly have the fungi, but we may see it. Strange impact crater.
My philosophy goes
coast to coast is all over it. All right, and then skeptics are saying they're oddly shaped rocks. All right, I think that's round 1, though. Good find. Good find. The idea has been floated. Boy, they're jumping straight to it, though. They haven't even gotten to the bacteria yet, and we're already talking about fungi, eh? Very interesting. They're not wasting any time. I mean, could NASA really be that stupid? I guess anything's possible in this timeline. Oh, there's a big bunch of fungi growing in the rover, but we never noticed. Mars is full of slime molds. I'm not a fungal expert, thank God. Yep. All right. Let's see if we can find these photos, images. A lot of these. All right, is that the fungi? You can't, you really can't tell with this because I go rock hounding and I find like caliche and rock, like white rock crap growing on other rocks all the time, and it's totally just rocks. So something like that could very easily be caliche. Now, if you had something on the rover that is not supposed to be on the rover, that would be a lot more evidence to me. If you have something growing, it starts out small and gets bigger and bigger. That would be evidence. But I do think that this sounds like they're floating the concept now. The Mandela or NASA or whoever the heck it is. Now in the last year or two, there's water, gravity. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's water just under the surface now. Before there was no water on the planet, and then there was water at the poles, and then there was water deep underground, and now there's water 2 inches underground, and they're talking about rain, that rain might hit the surface, and rain has been spotted. They're just not sure if it hits the surface. So we're going straight to the mushrooms, I guess, now. Remember when there was absolutely no signs of life on the moon or Mars? Yeah, there was no water. I hope you feel better ASAP. I've been sick for 10 days on my 3rd antibiotic. Nothing really works for that flu. That's another thing that really confuses me is I used to just... I mean, I had worse flus and I just kept working and I didn't even get that much sleep and I got better faster. It used to be that if I got sick, I'd be, all right, I'm going to just sleep for 2 days straight and take it easy. And the more I slept, the better I felt. And you definitely could feel a direct correlation between the amount of rest and me getting better. This last bunch of flus totally don't seem to do that at all. I don't know what's going on. It's like is my immune system on the table here or what? I don't exactly understand what's going on. The flus are all they're just different. And they go right into my lungs. I didn't used to have that problem. I don't know. Tamiflu doesn't work on the current model of humans. I've never tried that before. I used to just kick the flu's butt with my immune system like normal people. I had a virus that lasted weeks. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what the heck. And it's weird because I'll feel really tired, but I can't sleep. And that's another thing that's weird is that I used to just, it was easier to sleep when I was tired. Now I feel tired, but I can't sleep. I'm like, well, what the heck? What's the point of feeling tired then? I mean, isn't the point of tired so that you'll go take a nap and rest? I've been sick on and off all winter. I don't know. I'm gonna just I'm thinking I'm gonna try acupuncture for my lungs and see if I can. I mean, I don't know what else to try. I mean, I'm eating healthy, resting. I get sleep. You know. I mean, the only time once a week I kind of low on sleep will be tomorrow, and it's because of live stream. But I got this. I don't think that's it. I mean, I used to get a lot less sleep. Let's just say. Lincoln Memorial thumbs are not pointing up anymore. I don't remember them pointing up. Thumbs. I've seen a bunch of versions of the hand, but not the pointing up ones. I can't be shocked. I mean, I swear some days it's gonna be breakdancing or something. But the chest mucus or whatever's making the rounds, it's like choking on quick dry. Yeah. And after, like, right at the end of the flu, I will be so thirsty. Like, so thirsty. Water doesn't do anything or something. It's just weird. I've never had that either. And it's not like I don't drink during the flu. I do. I don't know where all the water disappeared to. It like evaporated or something. Chest mucus has been really bad. I use Primatine Mist tablets is the magic bullet for breathing. I would be really hurting without that. NyQuil helps some, but it's not like the magic Primatine Mist tablets for me. It may be that Mucinex will work. I have not tried that one. I didn't used to have a problem. And it's weird because even though I used to have asthma, when I got sick, it would not go to my lungs. But now it does. And although I don't have asthma much anymore, now my lungs seem to be like sitting ducks for this flu. Try this product, www.sleepdrops.co. I don't want to start taking sleeping pills. I don't know. I'm not that desperate. But during the flu, it was worse. And I did take NyQuil because, well, everybody takes NyQuil when they're sick. But I recommend some physical exercise before bed. Physically exhaust yourself so you sleep better. Nope, that doesn't work. Also, they say never exercise right before bed because it gets you all riled up and not sleepy. But no matter how much exercise I do, it doesn't really help my sleeping at all, strangely enough. I've definitely tried that. I mean, I do exercise at other times. I don't usually exercise at night, but there are exceptions. Because I play pickleball. It's a sport with the paddle and stuff. I usually play in the morning, but we do sometimes play at night. Lincoln looks ready to get out of his chair. I do, yeah. I was just looking at Lincoln Memorial this week. A lot of the statues and stuff that we saw such rapid changes in, I have not seen a lot of changes lately. Just very, very minor things. I don't know if there are other statues that are changing rapidly. I think his foot is coming more and more off the edge. I don't think his foot was off the edge at all for me before. It looks stupid because there's no tread or anything, so it just looks like a giant sponge. I do not think that his foot was off at all before. The other thing is now his coat goes both sides out the side. This clutchy, it looks like his thumb is out to the side more than I remember. This hand is off a little, maybe a little bit more than I remember, but not a huge change from like last month. Yeah, the thumbs seem to be out like that. I mean, when you put your hand on something, I guess, I don't know. To me, it is not natural for the thumb to be sticking out like you're trying to hitch a ride. My hand, it naturally flops like this. The thumb is not like that. And you look at this other hand. Actually, I think that might be kind of new. All right, it doesn't look as stupid from there, but I think those thumbs are out more than I remember. This hand looks a little more clenched. I remember it a little clenched, but it's looking more clenched. Yeah, and more off the edge. It's a little bit more relaxed before. Anyway, yeah, so I think that is definitely a change. Huh. This curly Q right here, too, looks weird on the... I don't remember that. All right, anyways. We need more water to stay hydrated. Yeah, I drink a lot of water. I've got nothing better to do all day than slurp on my water and work. Slurping on water is more fun than working. Looks thinner. Somehow he looks more, wait, what's that on his neck? Wait a minute. What is that? His neck looks weird. I don't think I even saw that there yesterday. It looks like there's a hand on his neck. It looks like the heck? Do not remember that. I'm sure it's going to be some goofy ruffles or something. But I don't remember that. He just looks more like upright, but look at that. It looks like somebody's choking him to death. Oh my gosh, that was not like that. Look there, there's something, oh, weird. Yep, nope, yep. It's hard to get a good close-up. Get memorial neck. Let's see if I can find it that way. What is that thing? What is that thing on his neck? It looks even more silly. He looks like he's sitting up more upright to me, and I think that might give that look like he's thinner because he's just more, he just looked more relaxed before. I don't know what the thing on his neck is, though. Who would make a statue like that? Looks like a spider is a giant tarantula under his neck. Who would make that choice as a person making a statue? I don't know. It looks stupid from this side, too. What's up with that? That is not right. I'm sorry. All right. Maybe I need to watch this one more. The other ones that I've been watching, they're in my like the Shiva statue at CERN. I haven't seen a lot of changes on that lately. Look at that thing. Oh my gosh. Oh, you're right. Beard less pronounced, and it looks kind of weird. Huh. Yeah, good point. I'm looking at another picture that does not have the hand thing. I don't know. All of them seem to have it that I could see. The hand. Look, there's I don't see one here that doesn't have that. Now, from certain angles, it's harder to see, but look at that. Look at that. What is that? Psh. All right. Lincoln's got a tarantula. Poor attempt at a neck scarf. Yeah, a scarf, I assume you mean. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can only imagine it's supposed to be some kind of frill at the neck, but that is ridiculous looking. And it's all uneven and cheeks more. You know, the beard looks kind of like it's made out of little cotton balls now. It's just sort of weird looking beard. The alien necktie. Yeah, it looks like there's an alien parasite on his neck. Oh, there's no pictures of Lincoln in a top hat. Interesting, or almost none. Lincoln. Yeah, that's right. He was famous for that giant silly hat. All right, we've got there's interesting. I mean, that doesn't really look like him to me, that one. Well, there's still a few photos anyway. But yeah, you're right that that kind of ancient meme of him is kind of disappearing now. Looks like he's been on the Atkins diet. Yeah, his face looks a little less sunken in than some of the timelines, too. All right. We got that one. We got the slime mold. All right, this is a kind of a weird one. I keep seeing images of it. Then when I look it up, they're saying it doesn't exist. Pupula duplex, which is, dang it, did the spelling just change? Or did I put it? No, I put it in right. Oh, weird. Okay. The spelling, I swear the spelling has just changed on this one. No. Things are really shifty lately. All right, I swear this was pupilla for pupils. So pupula now, duplex, is supposed to be two eyes in this two eyeballs in one like eye socket. Then you look it up, and some places are saying, oh, it's this rare and horrifying condition. Then other places are saying there's no proof it exists. And these are just like wax statues and stuff. So they're saying that it's questionable whether this exists or not. I've never seen it before, though. It's everywhere now. So I'm thinking that we might see this eventually. But this is something that Emmy likes to do, is it kind of jumps the shark and then it backs off a little bit. So it'll say, oh, this doesn't exist, only this exists. Well, that wasn't there either. And so the jump back from the shark now is this polycoria. And that's two pupils in one eyeball. does exist. Pathological condition of the eye characterized by more than one pupillary opening in the iris. And apparently they can even have like independently opening and closing pupils. Like they work, they operate. Not always, but they do. Okay, so this person has two pupils here. And I don't know if this one says it does, but apparently some of them can be fully functional. Each pupil will open and close. All right, and now some of these are probably Photoshop for sure. This one supposedly is not. So these do respond to light here, both of them. So that's what we're at now. I've done some other weird eyeball stuff. You can see it's already gotten weirder since the last time. This is the persistent pupillary membrane. There are already a bunch of really weird images of that one, much more so than the last time I've checked. So the polycoria is kind of getting mixed in with some of these other ones. So here's another polycoria. Just, anyway, so keep your eye open, pardon the pun. I think that we may find that we will get that pupilla duplex. All right, so there's polycoria. That I think that's that persisting membrane. Polycoria again. This one looks more like the persisting membrane, but who the heck knows? Anyway, so weird. That's my problem with the creating reality things. We aren't thinking of these things. Like all these creepy eyes and stuff. I mean, we may be, but maybe it's just, the dark side, the creepy side, the things that scare us. I mean, when you have a dream at night, is it always good stuff in the dream? Or do you have crappy dreams that you hate, or frustrating dreams, or ones where you forgot to wear your pants, or you forgot what time the meeting was at and you're late and all this stuff. I mean, apparently we think of all that crap. And like my dreams, I'll have really large bees in them. I had a bee phobia when I was little, so sometimes there'll be bees. When we make movies full of violence and hatred and yuckiness, and we think of all of these things. I mean, we go and watch them. I mean, have you ever not seen any yucky violence in a movie? No, we are doing all of these things. So that's why when I see these creepy bugs and stuff, I have no problem thinking we are thinking of these things, because if you look at our movies and our literature and our art, we have this kind of yucky junk in them. So that's why I could see us. If thoughts create reality, then all you have to do is think about it or have it, a phobia of it. 360 vision for humans, Kai Lucas Zachary. The only thing that's stopping you with the 360 is you've got your side of your face right there. It would have to be some kind of psychic thing. Didn't that recent Tom Cruise mummy film have women with slit eyes? I don't watch a lot of TV anymore, so I'll take your word for it. But yeah, this stuff, a lot of it just existed in movies for me. And now they're like, oh, well, that movie was made off of reality. No, it was just a stupid movie in my old timeline, but now it was based off reality. An eye, the back of a head. Yeah. I guess it could happen. We're seeing a lot of really weird double eyes and like 3 eyes, 1, 2, 3 birth defects lately, definitely. There's tiny pupils syndrome. Tiny pupils syndrome. And it's fixed by a hexagonal procedure. Pupils that are abnormally small under normal lighting conditions are called pinpoint pupils. Another word is meiosis or meiosis. Horner syndrome, that's a different thing. That's when your eyes roll back. Well, one of the ones. Causes, drugs, medications. Head injury. Anyway, that would take some research, I think. I think the money bags and the like create the reality you want thing. It's just not happening. I don't know. I don't think you're going to get rainbows, unicorns, and harps, because anytime humans create any reality, it's not rainbows and unicorns and harps. Our movies aren't, our literature isn't. We don't like to watch movies like that. Instead, we watch the violent movies. That's the reality we've always created, even in our movies. So, also, I think that you are fighting with everybody else for what reality is going to show up. I think you have more control over your individual reality, where it is your sphere of influence is the most powerful versus the whole world. I think the whole world, you're not the only one with a vote when it comes to the whole world. And also, I do think that some of this stress, anxiety, and stuff is probably something we have to learn from. I mean, dealing with things, because I just don't think if you had a life that was all perfect and easy all the time, I don't think we would learn anything. So that probably has that purpose also. At what level of our being are we doing the creating and the deciding? I think that there's a lot of unconscious to it. So, as you can see, I am somewhat of the you create your own reality. It's just, I think it is a democracy about which the overall reality gets created. I don't actually think that is. I don't think that really contradicts the Bible. I'm sure some people would disagree, but there's a lot in there about faith and how to think that I think corresponds to both the Bible and the create your own reality people. And if you read in the Bible, it'll say that God already knows all the way to the end. And then if you look at like, well, time is an illusion kind of stuff, then you would know the end. I mean, God would know the end because he could see all the way to it. So I don't think that they're as conflicting as a lot of people think they are. You think that you have free will, but if time is an illusion, then the choices you've made at some level are already made. You can already see the choices. The choices you made can be seen in the future. It's confusing, I know, and it kind of makes me crazy, but I finally saw a rainbow-colored pigeon in person. Yeah, they're coming. They're developing. The mirror-eyed people are cool. Yeah, there's a lot of weird eye stuff. And it's just interesting because a lot of books and literature and kind of some of the more corny books have, and then you look at anime and manga, and there's always such a theme with the weird eyes and the cat eyes and the different colored eyes and purple eyes and all this stuff. And that came first, and now we're starting to see it in the real eyes. Are we living in Earth 2.0? What happened to Earth 1.0? That's a big question for me. And if you look in the Bible, it basically just says, that we have to evolve, develop. Um, a lot of the new agey ones are kind of similar. Then there's that whole splitting of heaven and hell. Um, and then if you look at the new agey ones, they'll say kind of a similar thing. So, I mean, if any of those things are right, then I would say that we may have gotten split off from a lot worse place than here. I don't know if it's going well where we used to be. I don't know what the reality we used to have. I don't know if it really even exists anymore. I suspect that it too had to evolve. I don't know. I don't have any proof of it. It's just my personal opinion. For some reason, I don't like Elon. I don't know. I mean, he kind of comes off as your typical spoiled rich kid, but who the heck knows? I don't know. Yeah, if you watch anime, just kind of look at some of the themes that have developed in anime in the last 20 years, and how much of it is sort of showing up in reality now. Yeah, and Elon came out of nowhere. I agree with that. All right, where am I at now? You guys in Florida, apparently you're going to have are having a wild monkey infestation. Wild monkeys inhabit the swamp along Silver River in Ocala, Florida. Apparently they're breeding like crazy and kind of spreading all over Florida now. So I think Florida, and they're saying they're infested with herpes. Oh, great. Like, we really needed that. Orlando, it's not quite Planet of the Apes. Nice theme, guys. All right. Where did it go? Right here. Scaring families with their aggressive behavior, making homes in suburban backyards, and puzzling wildlife officials who struggle to curb their growing numbers. Several monkeys charged a family. My old timeline, monkeys kind of stayed up in the trees. They didn't attack people. And then in India, they would attack people because they had gotten so used to stealing food, and the natives, humans, fed them, and they became less wild. But here in Florida, I mean, these are um, supposedly just as aggressive, and they weren't being fed or anything like that. So I think these monkeys are just aggressive in this timeline. Another 72 have been sighted around Central Florida and the Panhandle, 200 in Silver Springs. You guys are going to get the monkeys. That's all I have to say. I think Florida is doomed. Doomed for monkeys. I know someone who's obsessed with monkeys. Well, then Florida can talk to them about the creation of excessive monkeys. Breaking out monkeys. Feed them to the python plague. Yeah, I can't believe python stuff is still banned and protected in California. I'm like, you got pythons everywhere now. Monkeys. Yeah, it's not Planet of the Apes. In other words, yeah, maybe it's going to be Planet of the Apes. All right, this one, UK people, I don't know. This one was brought up by user Scottack83, COTTAQ-83, and it's about the UK passport. Now, about half the people that came remembered the UK passport as having two lions, one on each side. But apparently, one of them looked at their passport and was quite confused to see. I know that this is your logo, but see, this is more like what they remember, like this Georgia one, two lions. But apparently, your passport now has the unicorn and the lion. I've been suspicious about that unicorn for a while, but it's definitely been here for a while. There's a couple people who say they remember a rule for coat of arms that it had to be a real animal. Now, I do remember that rule going way back. I do remember researching coat of arms, and there was a rule that it had to be a real animal. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, of course it has to be a real animal. But obviously, that rule has not been in place for a while because for at least 3 years, there's been a unicorn on here. But people are telling me that they still remember a lion on each side of the passport and not a unicorn. So it's about 50-50 split on that one. I don't know for the rest of you guys, but I mean, I can't swear on that one. Have you seen how big the crescent macaque's butt has gotten? Yeah, I've had that one on a lot. It's about as big as it can get and still walk, I think. All right. All right, let's see. I got that one. Ooh, I think that's it. The unicorn. Yep. That's all I've got for this week. Only an hour and 48 minutes. Well, there are griffins on them. I don't remember griffins and the coat of arms either, actually. I come from a really boring timeline, I have to say. Rhinos have two horns. Yep. That one's one that Mandela Effected pointed out probably several years ago, the second horn on the rhino. Now one-horned rhinos are just this one. How many horns? Rhinos have. It was one horn. Skunks had one stripe. So rhinos have two horns now. The horns are made of keratin, blah, blah, blah. African species in the Sumatran rhinos have two horns, while the Indian and Javan rhinos have a single horn. There's only one kind of rhino in my old timeline. I had a very boring timeline. New baby female giraffe. That's a buff-looking baby giraffe. Look at that thing. That is buffed. I have not seen one that buffed before. I actually wanted to look at their heads and see what their horns were looking like, but there was only one kind of giraffe in my old timeline. There's many kinds. These things on the top of the head keep getting bigger for me. Sometimes there's the third one over here between, like right there, or almost the third one. There's something really funny going on with that bump. And some of them, that bump is quite... What the heck happened to that one? All right. Gross. A lot of animals are having this weird growth problem now. It's like giraffes are having it. Weird skin growths. Ugh. Bark-like stumps, which are in fact lesions caused by papilloma virus. Ugh. Yeah, we didn't have that. My old timeline didn't have that. Yeah, look at that the horns on there. That one's weird. See, look, this bump on some of them, this bump is pretty big. They're getting real furry on the tufts, some of them. Look at the bump here on this one. I've been watching this this head bump here. Was not on my old timeline. But it has been here for a few years. I'm assuming that that one is supposedly deformed. Look at the bump on there. So I've been watching that third bump. And now we have all different species of giraffes with the different color patterns. So some of these might develop differently than the others. Similar to the disease of Tasmanian devil. Yeah, and then there's all this fear porn that they're all going to die, and they don't. Some have so many bumps, it looks like a cool hairdo. Blue owls. Blue owls. I think we might have done this one on another day. All right, let's see. Which one is the real blue owls? Blue owl of the Philippines. This one looks familiar. Holy crap, that is really blue. Is this really a blue owl? Are they really finding new species of owls in the Philippines? All right. Camiguin hawk owl. Formerly extinct Cebu hawk. The first picture wasn't a blue owl. In fact, it's a southern saw-whet owl that only lives in North America. I think I found this picture they altered to make the blue version. All right, so tea-colored species of owl. False. All right, so that is also fake. All right, let's look at colorful owls and see what we find. I don't know. I'm not seeing him that blue right now. There's still a lot of weird-looking owls, but look at that thing. So that one there was photoshopped. I'm sure this purple one is. Can't trust Pinterest. Yeah, I think all these Pinterest ones are just photoshopped. Okay. So, unless you have the specific name of it, I'm not seeing a really blue one. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we get one, but I'm taking magnesium for shifting symptoms. I've taken magnesium for years, so I'm already there. I get muscle cramps if I don't take magnesium, especially when I sleep. My legs cramp up. So I've been on it for quite a long time because of that. Brain is changing. That's the reason for the headaches. It could be, I mean, you know, are these flus? Are they shift sickness? I don't know. It could well be. I still am looking for ways to make it easier, though. I've noticed Mandela Effected's been on a lot of recent not recent, but videos that he's had on before he kind of went private. He was coughing a lot, so I think that his magnesium has not completely immunized him against these flus either. Anyway, so it's like 2 in the morning, so I think it's about time for me to head on out. Not seeing any actual blue owls here. Not yet. Would not be surprised if it shows up. There's a lot of weird looking owls now, for sure. So, yeah, I would not at all be surprised if something showed up slowly. These might be just the first salvo here. Just eat almonds every day. I don't know. My system doesn't really like nuts. I eat a little bit of them, but if I eat a lot, my stomach kind of hurts. Not a big fan of nuts. I love sashimi, actually. Raw fish. My stomach loves sashimi. Sushi also. That's my favorite protein as far as my stomach. When I got sick with the flu, I ate sashimi like 3 days in a row. It tasted so good. Indigo owl eyes. I'll try it. Hold on. Let's see. Indigo owl eyes. Right. I'm just getting people's stores and stuff. Not real animals. All right. Well, if you find the name, put it in the comments and I can put it up next time if you have the scientific name. But anyway, it's time for my bedtime. And I have to get up early in the morning, so I don't want to get this flu back, so I'm going to truck on out of here. So, anyways, this is Eva signing off for Once Upon a Timeline. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I appreciate it.